And too, I worked for McKinsey and Company, the consulting firm, for a number of decades during this period. And my job was basically to suppress wages and raise productivity and shove the difference to shareholders. And we were pretty good at it. And so were
Yeah.
lots of companies and lots of other entrepreneurs. And
Became somewhat infamous for it. I think it's safe to say McKinsey did.
and the theory said what we were doing was good for society.
Yeah.
But it hasn't worked out so well.
Yeah,
That's right.
Eric, can I ask you, as an economist, when someone says to you, I don't see how what Elon Musk gets affects my bank account, or how what happens at the top affects what happens at the bottom, how do you respond to that?
Part of you might say, look, Elon Musk is a very successful entrepreneur. Successful entrepreneurs should be rewarded. Don't disagree with that. But there's another aspect to that he's being an entrepreneur within a structure of a system, kind of structure of an economic game. And the way that game has been structured creates this, strong bias to capital and has reduced the power of labor in some quite fundamental ways that lead to the outcomes that we've seen over the past couple of decades. An example we use in the booklet to show how the kind of rules of the game can affect the outcomes is the game of Monopoly, which most listeners will be familiar with. And the interesting thing about the game of Monopoly is no matter how many times you play it and who is playing it, it always ends up in the same result, a plutocrat. There's always one very rich person in Monopoly, everyone else is really poor. And that's not because of the skill of the players, or, it's because of the structure of the game. And there's actually some mathematics behind this and so on that always leads to that outcome. And even if you send everyone to Monopoly school, or, and the game has perfect equality of opportunity, you still get the same result. So part of the argument we're making is the rules of the economic game have been structured in such a way that we end up with plutocrats like Elon Musk.